11 million. That's the estimated number of illegal immigrants currently in the U.S.
10.8 million. Between 2000 and 2010, the unauthorized population grew by 27%.
Illegal immigration has become a huge issue in America, one that affects many occupations, industries, and individuals. However, not necessarily in the ways many people think. In my home state of Alabama, the passing of the HB 56 law had far-reaching effects in all of these areas. This law impacted many groups and people, not just economically, but socially as well, reflecting not just Alabama, but America as a whole.
Well, the issue for farmers is that they have a need for seasonal workers oftentimes, sometimes year-round, but seasonal workers to do jobs that oftentimes they can't find local employees to perform. They have found that since the immigration law passed, that a lot of migrant workers that they had depended on in the past have actually left the state. Even some of those that had proper documentation, they left because of fear of being maybe misunderstood, their status being misunderstood, or they didn't understand the law, or maybe they had family members that didn't have the proper documentation.
I think one of the things that really became an issue in law enforcement is there is a direct tie between some illegal immigration into the drug cartels and the drug industry in the United States. Alabama is a border state. We just happen to border water. We border the Gulf of Mexico. But particularly in southern Alabama, we are a pipeline for narcotics coming into the United States, predominantly out of the southwestern United States. Interstate 10 and Interstate 65 have both been identified as major drug trafficking arteries coming into the United States. So the immigration has become a great concern because some illegal immigrants either use the drug trade or the drug trade uses them to get them into the United States, and we found a direct correlation with that. Initially, when Alabama passed its immigration law, the immigration law was very tough. It was going to place a lot of requirements on law enforcement and a lot of things that we were going to have to do procedurally in order to enforce this law. Ironically, most law enforcement officers disagreed with the legislature in the passage of this law. And the reason is we recognize that citizenship goes to the United States of America, not necessarily to the state of Alabama.
So Christians feel that we have a responsibility in the name of Christ to minister to those in need, and we certainly have demonstrated that the neediest of the needy, and Alabama is a state with a lot of poverty, the neediest, those at the bottom, were the immigrants. We had 8 or so congregations that we were birthing, Hispanic-speaking congregations. All of these congregations were just devastated overnight by the law.
There are also many misconceptions about illegal immigration. For instance, many people believe that illegals don't pay taxes, take American jobs, and reap American health benefits.
I think a lot of people believe that illegal immigration is an issue because of the misinformation that is out there. You often hear that immigrants, specifically illegal immigrants, take health care or they take public welfare programs. But when you fill out a form, you have to prove your citizenship in order to acquire those type of public benefits. You also hear a lot, about they don't pay taxes. Well, immigrants do pay taxes. They pay taxes when they rent a property, when they buy a home, when they pay for gas, when they buy groceries, just like any other citizen. They are paying taxes. And a little bit more of the misinformation that's out there is that immigrants do pay taxes in the form of federal income taxes or even to Alabama state income taxes when you fill out an I-9 form. So even as an undocumented immigrant worker, if you have an I-9 form, which most employers do require, they are paying taxes into the system that any other documented citizen does pay. The difference, though, is that they'll never be able to reap the benefits from those taxes being paid into the system because they are undocumented. Even when a false social security number is used as a form of ID for work, they're paying into the system, and it's into the system that they'll never even touch.
As you can see, ignorance and misinformation have clouded the issue of illegal immigration. However, there's still one major aspect that makes this one of, if not the, most important issues currently in America.
The people in southern Arizona have had their rights violated by the unending and constant flow of drug smugglers and human traffickers across their property. Their homes are being broken into, their rights are being violated.
A lot of people get involved in, particularly in our immigrant community, involved in the drug trade for two reasons. One, it's a matter of necessity, whether it be money or whether it be trying to come into the United States. Number two, a lot of these people are held hostage. They're being forced to do this. There's attacks going on every day on the border with the illegal immigrants and with the drugs. What happens in that is people are getting hurt. People are dying. People are getting killed. Law enforcement, citizens, as well as even those, of course, who are committing the illegal activity.
Most agree that something needs to be done about this issue. But we can't do this alone. And that's why we need you, Mr. President.
You, the American people, reminded us that while our road has been hard,
The immigration system in general is that it's broken. You know, it's not workable.
while our journey has been long, we have picked ourselves up.
We need to get a handle on this. We need to strengthen our borders so that the right people are crossing the borders.
We have fought our way back, and we know in our hearts.
We've got a leaking boat that all we're doing is just putting bubble gum in the leak. Until we revamp and totally redo that, we're going to continue to take on water and we're not going to make any progress.
But for the United States of America, the best is yet to come.
And I believe you, Mr. President. And because I believe you, I trust you. That from now on, when it comes to this issue of illegal immigration, the only way we'll be headed is forward.